We are back here on Girl Talk again. Bruce Wood has joined us. Erin is here, and my dear friend Cathy Ulmer. Like, my favorite topic in the whole world to talk about are pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
She likes talking about drugs.
Yeah.
Talking about drugs.
Not drugs, pharmaceuticals.
Well, exactly. But we've kind of been all over the board.
Like a history of pharmaceuticals over the years.
We started at the beginning.
Well, exactly.
right.
Well, we were laughing about vaccines, and when Bruce and I were kids, they would line you up in school, give you a sugar cube with a polio vaccine, and it was oral. And then you were talking about whiskey and hot tea.
And just the evolution of how we administer medicine.
I mean, we've come a long ways, and we've even taken some of those things and either made smaller doses or used them in different ways. Back when there was apothecaries and everything was just made from, opium or alcohol, and now we've kind of come a long ways to realize maybe we don't need that pure of a form, but a lot of it's been extrapolated into our drugs today.
Well, and you're a compounding pharmacy.
Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of that is, explain what that is.
Well,
first of all.
it is like an apothecary was back then, except for now we have hundreds and millions of drugs to choose from. So we can take things in the powder form or the liquid form, and we can make them into liquids, and we can dose things more appropriately, because unfortunately we've gotten to the point where everything's in either a 10 milligram, 20 milligram dose, and some people, a lot of people don't fit into that box. So compounding gives us the ability to dose things that way.
Bruce, you know what you would find interesting? His wife raises greyhounds, and they're rescues.
That's true.
She compounds for animals.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Karen will be in here today to do a cameo, and so that would be wonderful.
Yes.
She needs to meet you.
Yes.
Because you get that from a lot of the vets, don't you?
Yes.
And why would the dogs need that? I know that sounds a little
dogs,
ignorant.
aren't humans. You don't just tell your kids suck it up and take it. Your dog's like no, or so you have to flavor it, or dosages. So veterinary is awesome, but they don't have a huge plethora of drugs to choose from like people do. So when you get a drug and you're like, well, I want to give that, it's available in the human form, but what am I going to do with it for an animal? So we have to extrapolate that dosing, usually based on weight, and then we can put it in chicken flavor, beef flavor, peanut butter flavor, marshmallow.
That's incredible.
Our dogs love peanut butter.
Yeah, peanut butter. So we take a drug and we put, hopefully we don't ruin peanut butter for the dog over the time, but if they like it, they'll take it.
Because you said cats are finicky.
Cats are,
And what do you do for them? You had some fun things.
We have a couple of things. We make creams that you can rub into the ears, so you don't have to actually give it to the cat. They like their ears being rubbed, so that's cool.
That makes sense.
And
Do you
then,
have anything
they
for
love
goats?
marshmallow.
Probably.
And chickens?
Goats and chickens.
So you can do it for all animals.
Yeah, we can do all. I have some guinea pigs that we do medications for. We have birds that we do medications for. You'd be surprised how many birds have seizures, and there's not really a lot of medications for them in the veterinary world. So we can put it in like a nutty flavor or something that they would eat. So
I've learned so much just talking about this. Let's talk about flu season. Talking about the
right, we're back to flu season,
Yes.
COVID season, flu season, but they're really, one and the same. I mean, cough and cold and respiratory is here. I mean, it's cold out.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's cold today. You start to get that runny nose and that feeling, and the flu is going to come back around. It usually doesn't start till the end of November, so we're encouraging everybody usually in the October, November to get their flu vaccines so that you stay out of the hospitals because they're full.
Interesting observation, and I would love to know how to handle it or what your recommendation is. I see a lot of kids in school, high school, middle school, whatever, and now if you even sneezed, you were out. Now I see a lot of sore throats, and my nose is stuffed up, and my ear, and they're in school. What is the recommendation? How do I know if it's the flu, it's COVID, or if it's just a plain old cold?
I mean, you really, without going and getting tested for the flu or COVID, just to make sure and rule it out is important, because it's really hard to tell. My son wakes up every morning with a runny nose. It's allergies. It's his allergy medication. He's gone to school enough now that the nurse is like, it's his allergies, but in general, it's hard to tell the difference without getting tested. So, finding a good place or a good way to, go in and get tested, make sure that's not what it is. But there is a lot of cough and cold and runny nose, and right now in schools, it's hard to differentiate.
But if they're fever-free,
that's a good
sign.
indication of that it's
Give it a couple days and see if it
Yeah,
resolves.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Because even without a fever, it could be the flu.
Sure.
Or
It's
strep
really
throat
hard.
even.
Strep
Oh,
throat.
yeah,
Strep throat is
exactly.
Oh,
big.
that's
yeah.
miserable.
Is that, yeah, that is miserable.
But it's very curable.
Yes.
That's what I do like about strep.
Not if you're in the Army.
As soon as you get
'cause
that antibiotic.
They just give you Sepacol in the Army and say, lay down and take water.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Exactly.
And whiskey.
And whiskey.
You know, Bruce, and I know we got to go in a second, probably about the best thing in the world that I've learned about you, Cathy, and Ulmer's Pharmacy too, is you are so user-friendly. There's nothing better than going in if you have any question, and you can just say, okay, can I put whiskey in my tea? Will it help? And she'll give you the whole,
I'll give you the whole rundown. You'll
Yeah.
probably get tired of hearing
Maybe
it.
she can do up something special for me as a guy.
Your own little elixir.
You
And
know,
on that note,
I have different fevers.
I'm sure. And on that note, Cathy, it's always a treat to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Stay with us. There is more to come here on Girl Talk. Yes, Bruce is next.
Yes.